Michael and I met, multiple times over the course of several weeks, and finally Michael came up with honoring the art of giving. And to me, what that is our caregivers get to honor their craft. They get to go in and honor the art of giving. We say art of giving because caregiving, as much as there is a skill set there, the biggest skill is really human-to-human interaction.
We wanted something that we could focus on as we were making our decisions in our day-to-day business activities. And we chose art of giving because caregiving is more than just checking off a task list. It's getting to know the client, finding out what their needs are, what they respond well to, what they don't respond well to. And that's a real art. And so we've adapted honoring the art of giving as our vision statement.
You know, our mission statement of "we provide a profoundly remarkable experience" just came about. We had a very long, kind of laborious mission statement we first started with 10 years ago. And then we were meeting with our leadership team and we were going to add an extra value statement. And the leadership team said, no, this kind of is over everything. You know, you're talking about providing a profoundly remarkable experience. Some people look at that and say, oh, that's your head's in the clouds. That's just too out there. But we don't agree. You know, we believe that we're good. I would even say we're great. And I think there's been plenty of evidence to show that we run a great organization.
We really want to make each experience we have, each relationship that we have, to be a remarkable experience for that person. Whether it's a caregiver, office staff, employee, whether it's the person that provides our phone services, whether it's a person that cleans our offices.
But how can we become more than just good or great? How can we create memories? How can we take the human touches that come together and make profoundly remarkable experiences? I think that's the real challenge for us moving forward, and we're just in the infancy in that. This is a concept that's new, it's very different. I think it's really in line with our core values, and so that became our mission statement, and it's our challenge moving forward to look at those touches, caregiver to client, caregiver to office staff to office staff, caregiver to caregiver, owner to whoever. I mean, all those things matter.
We want that connection with Visiting Angels to be a very positive and profoundly remarkable experience.
We choose compassion over profits. And this was kind of the most controversial. Michael and I came up with these and we vetted them out amongst the staff. And this was the one they really didn't like, that word profits, because we're so not about profits. I mean, yes, we're a business, we make profits, but it isn't about the profit in that. It's about the order of it, compassion over profits.
We've never been about focusing on profits. We feel that if we do those things that meet the mission of our organization, of helping people, of doing the right thing at the right time, even when it may not be profitable. If we focused on that, then the profits would follow.
Michael and I have said for a long time, we make really bad business decisions that are the right thing to do. And I think that's the crux of this. We want to have compassion over profits. You know, you get to that decision, and value statements should be something you can hold a situation up to. So especially in this one, you're breaking down something where you maybe have to pay something that isn't 100% your responsibility to pay, but it's kind of the right thing to do to help that person out.
When we value compassion over profits, that helps us make decisions and gives us a mindset that's very different and unique in the industry.
So we recognize and appreciate the contributions of our employees, our clients, and our business partners. You know, I think that's something for us that has been a cornerstone since Michael and I was two guys sitting in an office trying to decide what are we going to be about. And we realized very early recognition and appreciation are just a cornerstone for people feeling like they're valued.
And we do that more than just saying it. We actually take action to do it. And that's important to us. Do we always know? But we really strive to do that on a consistent and regular basis, because each of those play a vital role in the success of who we are as Visiting Angels. They're all an integral part of us being successful at what we do. And we define that success by how we're perceived by those groups. If we're perceived well and in a positive way, then we feel we're being successful.
So we just have carried that through. For me, that's kind of almost a foregone conclusion. I mean, you just can't have a business. You can't have, especially a person business, a human business, that you aren't willing to recognize and appreciate people. So many studies are done that talk about satisfaction in the workplace, and recognition and appreciation for a job well done is always in the top of those. So it's something we just have had since the beginning. We find and develop the highest quality teams. Again, it goes back to if you want to have success, Michael and I realized very early, and it's probably something I'm pretty proud of, that we realized that success wasn't going to be built on our backs. I mean, it really was going to depend on having great teams of caregivers, great teams of office staff, great teams that are mixed amongst the two, where you come together and the synergy that happens from people who are like-minded really allows us to have better teams.
This is a challenge to do because it's a process that we go through. And it's not only a process for us, but it's a process for the people that are looking at it being an employee at Visiting Angels. We want to make sure that not only is it a good fit for us, but it's a good fit for them as well. And when we find that magical connection, that it works well for both the employee and the employer, then we know we've got somebody that's going to be a good integral part of our team.
It's just something that we always have thought about, having and promoting great teams within our organization. We're committed to employing individuals that demonstrate integrity. Again, I think this is pretty simple. If you don't have integrity, you don't have a business.
This is very foundational with us because it's more than just, again, a statement. It's actually how do we live our lives? What are the decisions we make on a day-to-day basis? And how do they reflect our integrity, our personal integrity?
So you just look in our nation, look in our world, and people that are lacking in integrity, they might have short-term success, but there's no longevity.
Whether it's a big decision on how we provide care to a client, to a little decision on, do I make this notation and make a decision based on that? Or do I actually come forth when I've made a mistake and say, I've made this mistake, and then having the integrity to say, how do we fix it now? How do we work together to make it better the next time? Michael
and I are two Christian men. We're not here to push that on people, but there's a core bond that comes from our faith, and integrity is a critical component of that. So we really have always had that, and we demand it. It is a foregone conclusion. If you don't have integrity, you won't be a part of our organization, at least not for very long. So it's something that we just, it's instilled in us through our faith, actually. And again, not pushing that on other people, but we are going to push integrity. We are going to push the product of that, those core values, throughout our organization. You know, when I think of providing for personal growth and financial stability, I really think as we've grown, in the beginning when you're starting a business, you're trying to have the business grow. And then you get to a certain point where I feel really comfortable that this is a stable, solid organization. And then you really have to turn full circle and make sure, now that we can help people, are we? We want this employment experience that people have with Visiting Angels to also flow into their personal life as well. Because if their personal life is in good order, it'll support their role as an employee. And the way we can reach into that area is helping them be financially stable. A 401k program for investment, health insurance, Legal Shield services for legal services. Providing that opportunity for personal growth. We talk about this a lot with annual reviews and talking about not only what you can do to be better at your job, but what do you need to be better as you? You know, I'd rather have someone who's a great person and I can teach them the craft, the trade, and I know their integrity is there, they're like-minded in work ethic, that they really want to grow and be a better person. I'd rather have that and then work on the skill sets, because those are things you can teach, but you can't teach someone about personally developing and wanting to strive to better.
We really want to have options available to our employees so they're not worrying about things financially that can distract them from being able to perform their job well. Also, from a growth standpoint, we really want individuals to grow not only in the work that they do, but as people. How are they growing individual? How are they communicating well? We've employed classes to help individuals communicate better and deal with conflict. How they grow as an individual in that can really be a benefit to them in their role as an employee with Visiting Angels.
We really think that's valuable to us. We employ innovation to deliver quality care is something that really Michael has always been really big on. I mean, I'd love to say that I've had a part in that, and I have had a small part, but Michael's, just from the word go, I think we knew that we had to be innovative.
We want to be on the leading edge of that. We live in a world that's changing at an accelerating rate, and you either change with it and move with it, or you get left behind.
We came in, it was 2 of us, a few caregivers, and we're competing in an arena where the largest in-home care agency in the state is right in our backyard. I mean, huge organization. We're not going to compete with them in size. So we better compete with them, and we better compete and be innovative in our industry. And it's really manifested itself in several things. We've gone paperless. That's one of, again, Michael's big things was not so much just to be paperless because of the efficiency. To have data accessible from anywhere at any time matters.
And we also want to make sure that employees are given the best tools possible to do their job. Working as a caregiver, for example, with our program called HARK, that gives the caregiver the opportunity to record medication administration, gives them that chance to do that quickly, do it effectively, so they're not focused on record keeping, they're focused on their client.
When we realized that we couldn't do that with our MARS, the medication administration records, we didn't say, well, how can we do this and just kind of decide that we had to stay like everyone else. No. Michael and a friend of his who's a software designer got together and we developed a software that we use called HARK that actually allows us remote access to those medication records. So we can have real-time access to data instead of waiting a month or weeks to get that data back. That's the innovation we're talking about. Finding ways to do things better, more efficiently, and not being afraid to step out and take a chance and try something and invest in something that's going to make things better for all of our clients, all of our caregivers, our office staff, and make us better in general.
And that's an example of how we use technology.